What up, people?
Hello, everyone. I think these are like our normal line. Like you would say, "What's up, people?" I would say, "Hello, everyone."
All right. How's it going out there?
Yeah, what's going on? And then I think this one follows my line as well. Like, what's going on? Oh, yeah. I was watching past videos. I was like, okay, this is really cool. Yeah, hope you all are doing great. Yes, for those that are not live with us right now, we hope when you decide to watch us, we're just saying hello and hope your Friday is great and hope you're excited about the weekend. As always, it's a yay time for us here. So, yeah, hope you're well, your family is well, work is great, everything about you is well, because that's what we wish for you, right? Everything goes on well with you. So,
Yep.
we're diving right into what we have planned for today. Going to play a TED talk after that. We come and we talk about that. So we really, 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 really encourage you to join in the conversation. So if there's any point that stood out to you or there's something that you would like to talk about, in regards to the video we share, please just drop us a message in the comment section and we'll really appreciate that. All right, some people are already saying hi. Yes. Some saying hello. Hello, Bumi. Thanks for coming on.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Ayus. Hello, Ayus. All right. So we're the ladies of Vivacious Violets Socials, where we bring to you fun chat, impactful conversation, engaging conversation, so that we can just go life through together, right? Because especially during these times, during the pandemic, things are really hard. Our life has been disrupted, and we want to make sure that we keep the community together, especially community amongst women. So that's why we do this, just to make sure that we encourage you and to make you know you're not alone. Okay, reach out, get help, find support, friendship, connections, because this life is much more fun with other people by our side.
Can't do it alone.
No, we can. We can. So we're welcoming you again to Vivacious Violets Socials. All right. Okay, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, okay? While I share the video.
Nothing's happening.
I'm a professional troublemaker. As my job is to critique the world, the shoddy systems, and the people who refuse to do better. As a writer, as a speaker, as a shady Nigerian, I feel like my purpose is to be this cat. I am the person who's looking at other people like, I need you to fix it. That is me. I want us to leave this world better than we found it. And how I choose to affect change is by speaking up, by being the first, and by being the domino. For a line of dominoes to fall, one has to fall first, which then leaves the other choiceless to do the same. And that domino that falls, we're hoping that, okay, the next person that sees this is inspired to be a domino. Being the domino for me looks like speaking up and doing the things that are really difficult, especially when they're needed, with the hope that others will follow suit. And here's the thing, I'm the person who says what you might be thinking, but dared not to say. And a lot of times people think that we're fearless. The people who do this, we're fearless. We're not fearless. We're not unafraid of the consequences or the sacrifices that we have to make by speaking truth to power. What happens is we feel like we have to, because there are too few people in the world willing to be the domino, too few people willing to take that fall. We're not doing it without fear. Now let's talk about fear. I knew exactly what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. Dr. Luvvie was the dream. I was Doc McStuffins before it was a thing. And I remember when I went to college, my freshman year, I had to take Chemistry 101 for my pre-med major. I got the first and last D of my academic career. So I went to my advisor and I was like, okay, let's drop the pre-med because this doctor thing is not gonna work because I don't even like hospitals. So let's just consider that done for. And that same semester, I started blogging. That was 2003. So as that one dream was ending, another was beginning. And then what was a cute hobby became my full-time job when I lost my marketing job in 2010. But it still took me 2 more years to say, I'm a writer. 9 years after I started writing before I said, I'm a writer, because I was afraid of what happens without 401ks, without, how am I gonna keep up my shoe habit? That's important to me. So it took me that long to own this thing. That was what my purpose was. And then I realized fear has a very concrete power of keeping us from doing and saying the things that are our purpose. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let fear rule my life. I'm not gonna let fear dictate what I do. And then all these awesome things started happening and dominoes started to fall. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, 2015, I turned 30. It's gonna be my year of do it anyway. Anything that scares me, I'm gonna actively pursue it. So I'm a Capricorn. I like my feet solidly on the ground. I decided to take my first ever solo vacation, and it was out of the country to the Dominican Republic. So on my birthday, what did I do? I went ziplining through the forest of Punta Cana. And for some odd reason, I had on business casual. Don't ask why. And I had an incredible time. Also, I don't like being submerged in water. I like to be, again, on solid ground. So I went to Mexico and swam with dolphins underwater. And then the cool thing that I did also that year that was my mountain was I wrote my book, I'm Judging You, the Do Better Manual. And I had to own that whole writing thing now, right? Yes. But the very anti-me thing that I did that year that scared the crap out of me, I went skydiving. We're about to fall out the plane. I was like, I've done some stupid things in life. This is one of them. And then we come falling down to earth and I literally lose my breath as I see earth. And I was like, I just fell out of a perfectly good plane on purpose. What is wrong with me? But then I looked down at the beauty and I was like, this is the best thing I could have done. This is an amazing decision. And I think about the times when I have to speak truth. It feels like I am falling out that plane. It feels like that moment when I'm at the edge of the plane and I'm like, you shouldn't do this. But then I do it anyway because I realize I have to. Sitting at the edge of that plane and kind of staying on that plane is comfort to me. And I feel like every day that I'm speaking truth against institutions and people who are bigger than me and just forces that are more powerful than me, I feel like I'm falling out of that plane. But I realize comfort is overrated because being quiet is comfortable. Keeping things the way they've been is comfortable. And all comfort has done is maintain the status quo. So we've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable by speaking these hard truths when they're necessary. And for me, though, I realized that I have to speak these truths because honesty is so important to me. My integrity is something I hold dear. Justice, I don't think justice should be an option. We should always have justice. Also, I believe in shea butter as a core value. And I think the world would be better if we were all more moisturized. But besides that, with these as my core values, I have to speak the truth. I have no other choice in the matter. But then people like me, the professional troublemakers, should not be the only ones who are committed to being these dominoes who are always falling out the planes or being the first one to take this hit. People are so afraid of these acute consequences, not realizing that there are many times when we walk in rooms and we are some of the most powerful people in those rooms. We might be the second most powerful, third most powerful. And I firmly believe that our job in those times is to disrupt what is happening. And then if we're not the most powerful, if 2 or more of us band together, it makes us powerful. It's like co-signing the woman in the meeting, you know, the woman who can't seem to get her word out, or just making sure that other person who can't make a point is being heard. Our job is to make sure they have room for that. Everyone's well-being is community business. If we made that a point, we'd understand that for the times when we need help, we wouldn't have to look around so hard if we made sure we were somebody else's help. And there are times when I feel like I have taken very public tumbles and falls. Like a time when I was asked to speak at a conference and they wanted me to pay my way there. And then I did some research and found out the white men who spoke there got compensated and got their travel paid for. The white women who spoke there got their travel paid for. The Black women who spoke there were expected to actually pay to speak there. And I was like, what do I do? And I knew that if I spoke up about this publicly, I could face financial loss. But then I also understood that my silence serves no one. So I fearfully spoke up about it publicly, and other women started coming out to talk about, I too have faced this type of pay inequality. And it started a conversation about discriminatory pay practices that this conference was participating in. I felt like I was the domino the time I read a disturbing memoir by a public figure and wrote a piece about it. And I knew this person was more powerful than me and could impact my career. But I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta sit at the edge of this plane, maybe for 2 hours. And I did. And I pressed publish and I ran away. And I came back to a viral post and people being like, oh my God, I'm so glad somebody finally said this. And it started a conversation about mental health and self-care. And I was like, okay, all right, this thing that I'm doing, I guess, all right, it's doing something. And then so many people have been the domino when they talk about how they've been assaulted by powerful men. And it's made millions of women join in and say, me too. So shout out to Tarana Burke for igniting that movement.
Now more than ever, Toyota is here to get you back to the places and things you've missed, intelligently and comfortably. Whenever you're ready, we are too.
Okay. So what do you think of that?
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's something about speaking out, huh? There's something about having a voice, sometimes, yeah, like she said, it's so scary, it's just scary to stick out or to voice out. But once you do it, right, like she said, the domino effect, right? Once you do it, it's like you're releasing this power.
Right.
And then you also empower those that are also going through the same thing.
Yeah.
To stand up.
Yeah.
There's nothing like having that voice. It unifies and it's so powerful, especially when women do it. Right. Just because I feel like women, we have a way of holding back most times, usually because of experiences or whatever we're going through, or we tend to have this competitive nature, which is not such a bad thing, right? But when women speak out, out of maybe their pain or out of something they're going through, and it empowers a lot of people, and it empowers you, the speaker, as well. So I think it's a very powerful thing to be that voice. And yes, it can be so scary, and sometimes it takes you years to be able to find that voice. But once we find that voice and we're able to, speak out, the power is just awesome, I think.
Yes, I like the fact that you mentioned empowered, because even if you look at the video, the very first part she showed, where the dominoes, right, everything just you have the leader, that's the person that sets that direction, and then every other person follows. So the same, that's just so cool, because people are waiting for us to lead, right? And so that they can follow, they want that voice, they want us to lend the voice, and then they can come along. It's a really great thing. I mean, and that reminds me of how we started, right? We just started so that we could support women in our circle, for example, our community. And then right now we're extending it to like people online, like anyone that needs the encouragement or even the support, just to hang out with us online. Like creating that avenue for people to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Because yes, it's very lonely, trying to do it alone. And sometimes speaking out, you go through a lot of fears and doubts and everything, but just like Luvvie, that's her name, the TED Talk speaker, Luvvie Ajayi.
Yeah, Luvvie is one of the ladies I was telling you about that have that podcast called Jesus and Love.
Oh, okay.
So there's Luvvie Ajayi, and then the other lady, her name is not coming right now, Yvonne Orji. She's
Okay.
Igbo as well. So it's the two of them that make that podcast called Jesus and Jollof.
Oh,
I love so much. Yeah.
I don't think you ever got to tell me the name, but I just found this on TED Talk. I was like, this is
They're awesome ladies.
yeah, it's really great. I really like it. And she talked about the fear, right? Doing it with the fear. You know,
Yes.
it's not about, you know, saying crap and whatever. She says for her, she uses like some guidelines to check if she should say it. So is it true? Right? Saying it with love. Right?
Yeah.
You have to say it, right? And that reminds me, like, I remember one of the Sundays also when I was teaching the kids in church. That's the same thing, right? Saying something that is kind. So before you even say something at all, just ask, is it kind? Do I have to say it? Right? Is it going to benefit people from hearing it? If you check all the yes boxes, then yes, you should go ahead. Because sometimes, you know, we just hold back, not because what we have to say is great, but because of the fear of not being accepted.
Yeah.
Right, of being rejected, and you know, so that's an encouragement right there, right?
Yeah. And that's real fear. Right? That's real fear. Fear of being rejected, and you know, just that's a big thing. At least for most of us, I think that holds us back a lot. Is that okay? I know this is this, but once I speak out, what happens? You know, you
what happens?
You know, how are people going to react? But I guess one thing we always have to realize that in as much as, you know, there will definitely be people that, you know, will be antagonistic towards that.
Of course.
But there will also be people that it will benefit very deeply.
And I think that's what we think about, the people that benefit from it.
Exactly. And like what she said, that kindness, that's reaching out to that handful of people that it's gonna benefit, you know, is what we should always, you know, have behind our minds. Because I'm telling you, there will always be haters and, you know, people that maybe simply don't just agree with your view. Which is okay, loud, right? We all have our opinions. We all have, you know, and those opinions are molded by whatever experience you might have gone through, or you know, whatever, from whatever place they are coming from. We can't control, right? What we can control is what we say, what we do, and that much, you know, we're able to handle, and you know, that's enough. Should be like good encouragement to step.
Right.
And it can be very tough. I can imagine you can be segregated for what you say.
Oh yeah. And when we think about you know, rejection and pull back from people and not support, sometimes we think about like our circle. It can be family members, it can be close friends.
It can be anyone.
They don't. Yeah. So it's okay. For me, I just see it as okay, they don't agree in my vision, or they don't know what I see. And that's okay, right? If I keep back, if I keep quiet, like they'll never get to see the other side. I'm not doing anyone any good. I'm not doing myself any good. Someone that really needs any good. So you know, it's hard. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's tough. You know, is it beneficial? Is it kind? Am I saying with love? And do I have to say it? You know, if it's yes, then yeah, by all means.
And that transcends through every aspect of our lives, right? Our relationships, all kinds of relationships we have, you know. Sometimes you want to say these things, and then you need to ask yourself that question, because I'm telling you, sometimes some things you want to say, we're not perfect people. They might be coming from a place that is not even appropriate, even though it's like the right thing to say. But where is this thing coming from? I know sometimes I try to talk to my kids and I see the way, okay, maybe one of them is reprimanding the other one, and I'm like, okay, your reprimand, the way you're going about it, it doesn't sound like it's coming from a place of kindness and love.
Right.
Because you're trying to correct your younger one, you're making her feel, you're making her feel like a little bit rejected. You know, you're making her feel bad. Yes, even though what she's done is in your sight maybe not right, but when you're coming from a place of love, it doesn't make that person feel
shame,
inadequate. You understand?
Yeah, I get.
You know, so I find myself having to always remind them that, you know what? Yes, it's okay that you don't agree. And it's okay, you're trying to maybe correct something, but do it. Always think about doing it from a place of love.
Yeah,
exactly. Not inadequate, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like, oh, you're casting me out.
Yeah.
You know? So when you're doing it, if you do it from a place of love, there's a way it comes out, and there's a way the other person receives it. Like, you know, it's totally different from when you're coming from a place of brashness, you know. So I always tell them, you know, yes, you're correcting is a good thing, But sometimes it feels bad because of, the way you transmit that message. Always make sure it's coming from a place of love, so the other person doesn't feel rejected or inadequate. Not the other person comes to realize that, oh, is that really it? Okay, I'll think about. And it's, that way. You always want to think about what the other person is feeling, what you're saying, the words you're using, the kindness you're expressing, even in correction, so it's important.
Yeah, so we hope you're encouraged by the video we shared and just by our conversation and our chat, right? Don't be afraid to stand alone in a good way, right? We're not saying, like when we talk about, things here, we're talking about doing good to the community, to people around you, to yourself. So don't be afraid to stand out for something that's good. Don't be afraid to try out what you want to do, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, so after now we have Zumba, and if you want to join, just let us know in the comment section that you're interested, and require you send an email, and then an instant Zoom link will be sent to you. So yeah, we will see you back in September. So Ayus and I are going on vacation. We're going on a break, actually, just getting ready for school year, other things. So we hope you have a wonderful summer. Like, we will be in touch, send videos and maybe anything that we feel will be encouraging, actually. So we're not like out of sight. We're just stepping back a little bit while we get refreshed, rejuvenated, and set everything for the coming months.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bye. Have a wonderful weekend.
Take care. Have fun. Stay safe out there.
Yes.